Welcome back, Stingers. 2024 is going out with a bang. In this series, I'm answering the internet's most asked questions about Scorpio. And since I am a Sun, Moon, Stellium, Pluto, Mars dominant, I think I'm pretty qualified. Are you ready? I love these questions. Is there a deep connection between Scorpio Ascendant and Scorpio Sun? So let's talk astrology for us a moment here. The ascendant is your projected self. It's the way the world sees you, okay? It is your physical self. It's kind of like you're putting on this whole suit, the physicality of the Scorpio vibe. Now, depending on what your Mars is in, what sign it's in, and the house, that's going to tell you what type of Scorpio flavor that you're projecting. Many of you aren't that deep as you seem. You know, if you have a Mars in Libra and your Venus happens to be in Libra or something lighter, like you're not really putting out that deep of a Scorpio show, okay? So the ascendant is your connection level. If a Scorpio Sun and a Scorpio Ascendant connect, the energy is like, I recognize you, number one. Number two is I feel like there's some strong energy between us, number two. So there's a recognition, because we're talking about the sun, there's a recognition like, I recognize you as maybe someone similar. I see you. Now, there is no deep bond like, oh my gosh, we're best friends. I feel like we've been here before. Maybe we were in another life together. It's not like that. It's like I recognize you. You seem like a kindred, like we're similar. It's kind of like when you meet another artist. Like most of you are creative, yeah? I'm a creative. So when I meet somebody else who's a singer, who is an artist, maybe fine arts, or when I meet somebody who is in the spiritual, realm, I'm like, oh, cool, you're here too. It's like that. It's like a recognition, like, oh, I see you. Like, I recognize you. That's what it is. It's like that. So when we're asking a question about deep connection, as if our spirits are linked, as if you're like a mirror person. No, that's not what it is. And I think a lot of people get confused as, first of all, they're confused as the role of the ascendant. The role of the ascendant is not your life path. It's not your internal being. It's not even who you behave to be when you're home chilling with your family. Like it's not like a comfort point. It has no emotional attachment to it. Your ascendant is not playing the role of some deep emotional bonding type of thing. It's out on the forefront. It's outside the house. It's literally outside the house. And that is the point where everybody's meeting you and seeing you and judging you. They're like, okay, I see you. Like putting on a fat suit. Like, okay, I see you as fat. I see you, and you're walking around like you're fat because you got on this heavy suit. So obviously you're going to be a little slower than the thin person, this, that, and the other. So you have on the Scorpio suit. And every Scorpio suit does not look the same. Like I said, it depends on what that Mars is in, where it's at, and what connections it's making, okay? Some of you are fluffy Scorpio ascendants. And some of you are not. Some of you are heavy. Some of you are wearing that heavy suit. So clearly, you're going to appear to be a Scorpio to everyone else. Now, when I get to know you, it's a whole other ballgame. Because now you're inside the house. So what happens when you come inside the house? And that means when you're comfortable with me, you don't feel any threat, you already know you're familiar with me, so there's familiarity there. And so you don't have to be like, ooh, who's in the house? Ooh, who's that? Now the guard's not up. Everything's down. Now you could be yourself. Whatever that yourself is, it's not your Scorpio suit, whatever that, so for some of you, maybe it is. Most of you, it's not. So now you're comfortable. I mean, now you're inside the house. Now you're comfortable enough to take your shoes off and come on in. Now you can relax. You're like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness I don't have to carry around that Scorpio suit anymore. And inside the house, I feel safe with you. I know you, this, that, and the other. And now that's where the deep connection is. So many of you guys, you know, there is no deep connection with the ascendant and the sun. It's a connection point. And when you have an ascendant making a connection to whether it's the moon, the sun, the Venus, it's very strong because it's like, I recognize you. And you have to see what the other elements are in the chart to realize what the recognition is. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? What that recognition is. Like I'm a sun and moon, Uranus, North Node, and all that other stuff in Scorpio conjunct. So if you're just an ascendant and you see me, you're like, ah, I could tell that she's my type. Or so you think. Off the bat, you're like, okay, she's my type. But not really, because when I get to know you and the suit comes off, now maybe you bounce right back into your Libra shit. And now you're not my type. So I wouldn't use words like deep connection just because we recognize each other. You see what I'm saying? And that goes for anything else. It doesn't mean deep connection. It just means, you ever meet somebody and you're like, wow, I think they're cool. They must be just like me. Like we love rock and we love going to concerts, and I could tell, you know, by their clothes that they're my type. They're kind of, you know, punk rock or whatever you are. They're artsy or they're conservative, and you know, it's kind of like when I was young and I wear the Capricorn suit, but sort of, because my Saturn's in Leo, so I wear the Capricorn suit, but an even bigger suit, a shinier suit, a better looking suit. But once people started to get to know me, they didn't like what they saw. They didn't like the real me. They liked the suit, but they were like, ew. They were like, I like the other you better. And the other you was the person who was outside the door. And once I got invited into the house and everything was chill, they started seeing all the Scorpio, like really prominent. And they didn't like that. So you as a riser, when you come inside the house, I may not like all that other shit you got. Probably not. And so my relationship with you may just be outside, honey. I may just leave it at that, because when I see you out in the streets, I'm like, cool. I like the Scorpio vibe I get, but I don't really want to see you in the house, because now I'm going to get the real version of you, which is not really compatible with all my Scorpioism. I hope you guys understand that. I'll see you in the comments. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. I'll see you at ScorpioSunScorpioMoon.com, where you could take a quiz to see what type of Scorpio you are. Then book a master chart reading where I break everything down on an astrological level. You can also purchase my course, Becoming Fabulous, buy my books, and shop my pop-up shop. Otter Spirit is being generous, giving 20% off their amazing healing crystal jewelry. I have the Scorpio pack. Use the link below for your discount and let me know in the comments which one you purchased.